Namaste, Kevin. Welcome to the mat and welcome to this brand new flow. My name is Bethany. I am the Yogi Witch, and today I'm going to guide you through a really beautiful 30-minute goddess flow for your flow. A yoga practice fully focused on releasing any tension going on during your period, any emotional tension, any physical tension, any stress, any anxiety, etc., and dedicating 30 minutes of our day to a little self-care and a little rest. It is going to be a really beautiful, soulful and slow practice. So for today's practice, you're going to need a bolster or a block or a big pillow that you can use. I've also included a playlist in the link description below, which you are more than welcome to use, which is I'm going to put in right now. And then from here, we're going to come all the way to the back of the mat, immediately beginning into a restorative child's pose. So grabbing your bolster, bring the big toes to touch and take the knees wide. From here, you're going to relax the body all the way down, getting yourself as comfortable as possible. As you take a beautiful deep inhale in through the nose and a slow exhale all the way out. For today's practice, I'm going to take a moment in our first few breaths just to clear and cleanse our space. Clearing away any negative energies, any thoughts or worries or stresses that doesn't serve us. So please know that I'm sending this cleansing smoke all the way from my mat to yours. And getting yourself as comfortable as you can in your child's pose. Opening this circle, opening this practice with a beautiful deep breath in. And taking a slow breath out. Just allowing your body to relax deeper and deeper into this bolster. And maybe you've come to the mat today a little bit anxious or overwhelmed. Maybe you're really feeling those period cramps. And that's okay. At any point during this practice, you can press pause to grab yourself a cup of tea, a hot water bottle, anything at all. This is just 30 minutes to take care of ourselves, to honour the goddess, and to embrace a little bit of stillness. There's no shame in resting. There's no shame in taking time to restore. So give yourselves 5 more breaths here, breathing in through the nose and breathing out. Before all together we inhale and we exhale. On your next breath, Coven, we're going to place the hands down to the earth and roll that body in to a tabletop position. And just taking some slow movements, we inhale to drop that chest, arch the spine. And then exhale to tuck tailbone under and press the ceiling away. Keep taking this movement, inhaling to drop the chest. Exhale to curve. And then if you want to find a little bit of freedom of movement here, you can do so, taking any wiggles, any circles, any waves, anything at all that feels good to you. Before we inhale, to come back to tabletop and using this bolster, or if you prefer to work without, that's completely up to you. We're going to come to our melting heart, to our puppy pose. So if you're working without the bolster, you can come to lie straight down to the mat, extending those arms. If you're working with the bolster, then rest your chest and your chin onto the edge of the bolster and just let go here. So concentrating on keeping those hip bones stacked up on top of the knees. We just relax the spine, open up that heart. Aiming to stay here for about a minute. At any point you can find a bolster, and at any point you can move it aside. Inhale. On your exhale to move out of this pose, you're going to slide the hands next to the face and begin to round into the shoulders. Press the ceiling away as you inhale. Exhale to relax the chest a little bit here. And we're just going to move that bolster to one side for now as we relax the body all the way down. First come to the forearms and then relax the hips, pointing those toes to either corner of the mat. And stack elbows underneath the shoulders, hands flat down into the earth, not dropping our weight to the shoulders. We find that lift through the crown of the head, coming into one of my favorite poses to restore and to also embrace my power, which is Sphinx pose. Here, connecting the hips with the earth beneath us. And we find a lift through the crown of the head. Imagine that Mother Nature is connecting with this womb here, helping to heal, helping to soothe. Crown of the head connecting with the heavens above us. Keep sending that breath to the belly, in through the nose and out through the nose. Now for the final 10 breaths, if you want to go a little bit deeper with your back bend, you're more than welcome to press into the hands, to extend the arms and come to a gorgeous seal pose. Holding for 10 breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. As we inhale, exhale, gently come back onto the forearms, and we're going to make our way into a really gorgeous yin-inspired twist. So from here, we're going to bend the right elbow into the center of the mat and take hold of the head. From here, bend that left knee so the knee comes into alignment with the hip, and we're going to bend into the right leg. Left hand takes hold of that right foot, coming in to a gorgeous twist. Now you can choose to stay a little bit lifted, or if you have it in your practice to drop the shoulder back and come in to your cat pulling its tail twist, you can do so. So remember, left hand is holding the right foot, squeezing that heel close to the hips. Left knee is in alignment with the hip. 10 breaths. Keep breathing, coming in through the nose and out through the nose. 3 more breaths. As we inhale, on your exhale, we gently relax the right leg down, roll the body slowly back on to the chest to come through Sphinx pose. Point both toes to the corners of the mat, and we take it to the other side. Bend left elbow into the center of the mat and take hold of the head. We bend right knee to come into alignment with the hip and bend into the left leg, so right hand takes hold of the left foot. You can choose to stay here, or you can choose to come in to your twist. Imagine with your exhale, you untie those knots of tension. And with your inhale, you start to embrace a sense of peace and also a sense of feminine power. 5 more breaths. We inhale. On your exhale, gently relax the left leg, relax the right, and roll that body first through center as if you're coming to a sphinx, and then gently relax down to the mat, bend into the knees and take a few little wiggles in one direction. Take a few wiggles in the other. Beautiful. Relax the legs down, forehead to the mat and hands next to the chest. On your inhale, we gently find our way into upward facing dog, creating length through the crown of the head. And then exhale, knees come to touch, send the hip bones back to the heels and arms down by our side. Come in briefly to a restorative child's pose here, so just to ease the spine after those twists and that sphinx pose. We inhale. And on your exhale, send the hands back to the mat. Roll the body to tabletop, cross the ankles and come into a seated position, finding your bolster once more. Now from here, we're going to have a little bit of faith in the body as we take the bolster across our mat and wiggle it all the way to the base of the spine. Bend in to the knees, feet flat to the mat, and begin to roll the body onto your bolster. So again, we're not aiming to have a stretch in the lower spine, we're aiming to have a lift in the hips here. So roll that bolster so it sits comfortably under under those hip bones. Relax the arms down by your side. You can bring the knees to touch and walk the feet wide, but just get them nice and comfortable here as you meet me in a restorative bridge pose. Oh, I love this pose so much. Now where you go with this pose is completely up to you. You might choose to stay here in a supported bridge, or maybe you choose to lift one foot, lift another off the mat, wiggle so the bolster supports you, and begin to extend the legs to the sky to come to candle pose. So they don't have to be super straight and super still. They can have a little bend in the knees, they can find a sway. It's whatever feels good to you. But the further away you take the legs, the less pressure on the core and the shoulders. The closer you bring the legs to you, the more compression you feel onto the chest. At any point, you can bring the feet flat to the mat. Or if it feels good, stay here for 10 more breaths, breathing in through the nose and breathing out. We inhale. And on your exhale, begin to bend into one leg. Bend into the other. So the feet come flat to the mat. Either coming into a supported bridge pose or extend the legs and come to a gorgeous back bend here. Stretching out the front of the body, feeling that lift in the hips. We inhale. And we exhale. If those those legs are extended, you're going to bend into the knees. Feet flat to the mat. As all together we inhale to lift the hips. And then exhale, slide the bolster underneath the knees, lower the hips back to the mat, and come in to the final pose of Shavasana. So grabbing anything that you'd like to make this final pose as comfortable as possible. But once you've found your way here, take a beautiful deep inhale in through the nose. And a slow exhale all the way out. Allowing your exhales to become longer than your inhales. As you send your breath all the way to the base of the belly. Feeling your belly rise. And feeling your belly fall. Acknowledging the fact that you came to the mat today, acknowledging the fact that you took this time out to take care of you, for your mind, your body, your soul, but most importantly, to embrace the goddess within. To embrace the idea of rest. So give permission to yourself now to rest here on the mat for 1 more minute. Before all together we inhale. Now if you'd like to rest here longer, you might choose to do so. Now if you'd like to stay here longer to rest, I invite you to do so, knowing that I'm sending all my love, all my magic, all my healing from my mat to yours. If you're ready to come out, begin to take a few little wiggles into the toes, into the fingers, before we reach those arms up and overhead to give ourselves one final full body stretch. Ooh, any final wiggles, movements that feels good to us. Before we bend the knees to the chest, staying here for a brief moment. Before gently allowing the body to roll to one side of our mat, keeping the eyes closed, the head heavy as you move into a comfortable seated position. Bringing one hand to the belly, another to the heart. We close this circle, we close this practice with a bow from head to heart, chin to chest, heaven to earth, with love and gratitude to ourselves for taking the time out today to take care of ourselves, our mind, our body, our soul. Bowing low with love and gratitude to this online coven for this energy and support. And as always, from me to you, thanking you so much for joining me here today and for allowing me to guide you through today's goddess flow. I hope this flow has helped ease a little bit of tension, a little bit of cramps, a little bit of emotion that maybe you've been feeling during this time of your month, and allowed you to just rest for 30 minutes. So thanking you so much for joining me here today. If you are looking for more flows like this, then in a moment a playlist will pop up that will suggest some gorgeous videos for you. And if you are looking to join the Om Coven, my brand new membership area here on YouTube, you can find out more in the description box below. But thanking you so much, and I hope to see you again soon, Coven. Blessed be.